opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network. Hello, everybody, and welcome inside a Monday episode of Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown, top right-hand corner of the screen. You know where to find them. Man, what a great day. We want to, actually, I want to formally apologize for not being here on Thursday and Friday. I know there are people that definitely look forward to this show every day and want to be transparent, man. Content was a booming. We had a huge content week. There was a lot to post, and we love this show. I love this show. But at the end of the day, if there's content to be posted and there's only so many hours in the day, as rare as it will be, there will be days where I just need the extra time to post content. We had 115 pieces of content from last Friday to this Friday. So we had a huge content boom. That was our second largest week so far of the fall. We had a lot of stats coming on Thursday and Friday in the morning too. So a lot of opportunities for content that didn't come until that morning from stats being reported by volleyball and soccer teams. So we wanted to make sure all those stories got up. If you followed YSN during the week last week, we had a ton of stories go up for soccer, especially. I was very proud of our soccer coverage last week when it came to content. We had interviews go up. We'll have more go up today as well. Ava Yanucci is the latest soccer profile, just went up yesterday from Howland. So our soccer content is really booming right now, along with our awesome volleyball and football coverage that has always been full steam ahead. So that was just why we weren't here on Thursday and Friday. It was just days where content had to be posted. It was as simple as that. And those days will pop up because our bar has gotten higher at YSN. We want more and more content, right? We're going to try to get 100 per week, and we've done that successfully every week for the fall season so far. I know I am content director, but that is not just me. And shout out to all the other people that are helping make content, whether it be the announcers that write their own stories, Matt Marr, Ty Bartell, Tim Corso, Matt Romeo, those guys, you'll see their names on the top of the stories that write their own. They do a great job. Of course, DJ Yoakley out there doing live shows every week. So is Eric Hugh, so is Matt Marr, so is Matt Romeo. Like we said before, he's writing his own stories as well. Steve Leslie, those guys. Content comes from them, the shows, the stories. So cannot take credit for the amazing content we've had. But like I said, so far this season, where we're going into week 8, and so far total, we've had just over 750 pieces of content for the fall sports season, going back to the first week of golf and cross country, way back in the middle of August. So we put content at a premium here at YSN, and when there are days where there's a volume of things that need to be posted and I need an extra hour in the day to get them done, unfortunately those will be days where Running Point will be put to the side. But today, could not miss Running Point. We have so much to get through today. We are going to do a little bit of a different format today. I know we're so used to recap, profile, preview of the night. But today we're going to start with the profile. Then we're going to go right into tournament talk because the brackets for volleyball, soccer are out. The seeds for volleyball and soccer are out. We're going to spend the next few days in those worlds. There's a lot more to talk about because there are more divisions. So 7 divisions of volleyball will be broken down today. We're not going to dive into the matchups and the brackets. We will save that for next week when tournaments start, but I do want to go over just where the teams are in the brackets, like where you'll be able to see them, and how these divisions broke down seating wise. So that's what we're going to go over today. Volleyball today, 7 divisions, going to be fun. But first, let's go into a let's go into a volleyball player profile. We are going to feature today's player profile from Girard Senior, Bailey Walters. A great interview. This is by far not the first time we've been able to catch up with Bailey for a player profile, but it will be the last, right? Last ride. Bailey only plays volleyball, so this is it. We shed a little bit of a tear for this one because we have loved covering Bailey over the years. But here is the last player profile of Senior from Girard, Bailey Walters. Anthony Hartwig here with you, and we are in Girard for a very special volleyball player profile. And, shed a tear a little bit because it's the last time we get to talk to Bailey Walters, Senior for Girard. Bailey, thanks for coming on again and talking to us a little bit more.
Thank you for having me.
You got it. So let's talk about this senior season. It's the last go round. What has it been like kind of dealing with the emotions and the mental kind of feelings that senior year can bring?
It's been exciting. I was really scared going into it because I thought, it's flying by like I expected it to, but it's been a lot of fun. I've been taking my time, having it go by slow so I can enjoy every moment, but I think it's been a lot of fun.
Everyone handles senior year differently. Like some people, have it not even hit until the last game. Some people think about it constantly and try to treasure every moment because they know it's their last year. Where are you handling it? Has it sunk in yet that you're a senior? Or are you trying to play this season like it's any other year?
It is starting to sink in, but I personally am trying to have it go by slow. I'm trying to take my time. I don't want it to fly by. It hasn't hit me yet, but I know coming down, this is the second half of the season and things are getting a little scary because it's getting closer to the end, but I'm still trying to enjoy every moment. I'm not letting it hit me too soon.
You talk about enjoying every moment, and this Girard team is enjoying a lot of moments today, this year. What's it been like kind of, having some new faces come on board and some players that are stepping into a lot bigger roles, and as a senior leader, seeing all that, kind of click so far this year?
It's been a lot of fun. Everyone's doing well, playing their role super well. We have 2 freshmen coming in who have been playing their part extremely well. A lot of new faces, but they're all doing such a great job. And I'm glad I get to kind of lead them and, accept them into the varsity team. But it's been so much fun. They've been doing such a great job.
When you think about things that you learned as a freshman that you can kind of guide them for, what kind of experience do you think you lean back on and say, hey, I went through this so I can help you through your freshman year too?
I just don't want them to come into it thinking it's scary. I want them to enjoy every moment. I want them to take their time. Don't let it fly by too quick because the next 4 years are going to be the next most fun years they're going to have of their life. It's such a great time, great experience. But as long as they take it slow, don't try and fly through everything, they'll have an amazing time.
We go through your career. You've been a libero. You've been a setter. Now you're an outside hitter. Been able to just kind of transform into whatever the team needs you to do. What's that been like for you to kind of, now you're going from setting last year and now all of a sudden here you are as one of the premier outside hitters of the team?
It's nerve-wracking for sure. Coming out into be an outside, which is such a big role. Every role is so important, but being an outside is definitely out of my comfort zone. I've never done anything in the front row except for maybe set, but it's been a lot of fun being able to play everywhere. I love getting every experience, getting anywhere. I love just being able to fill in any spot that I need to. I think it's so much fun and it adds a lot of experience. So,
last year you were able to have a couple rotations where you were an outside hitter when the team needed that. What was that like for you to be able to kind of get your feet wet a little bit last year? And then of course this year, at least draw back on a little bit of that experience.
It was exciting. I mean, it was cool looking into the future and thinking this is what I'm going to be doing the whole season next year. So it was definitely needed to get my mind set straight on like what I was going to be doing. But it was super cool to be able to experience that.
We've brought up the freshmen, and one of the big reasons why you're able to transition from setter to outside hitter is because you have a freshman setter that has done a pretty dang good job filling those shoes. What's it been like to watch Chloe kind of do her thing this year, run a 5-1 offense as a freshman, which is, my opinion, maybe one of the hardest things to do as a freshman? What's it been like?
It's been, it was cool. I was in her shoes at one point, but I never set, as a freshman, I was setting a 6-2. So for her to be able to step up as a freshman and set a 5-1 is insane to me. She's doing such a great job. I love I try and like coach her, help her through it because I've set a couple years in my past, but she's doing an amazing job. She's done everything she needs to. She's filled her position perfectly. So as a freshman, she's killing it.
What's it like being on the other end of that role? Because you were a setter that had to build a relationship with their hitters, and now you're a hitter that has to build that bond and that rhythm with a setter. So what's that been like working with Chloe and building kind of a rhythm with her?
I think it helps a lot knowing like what she's thinking as a setter, So I try and like build her up, like, great set, you're doing amazing, because you don't really get that much as a setter. You don't get many like, oh, doing this, doing that, like so good. But it really helps a lot for me to be able to talk her through everything, to know like in her shoes, setting an outside hitter's like, it's scary, it's hard. You're never like sure if it's a perfect set or anything, but I think it really helped a lot, like being in her shoes last year. It helps for me to be able to hype her up and let her know she's doing an amazing job.
Now, it's not a huge senior class this year that you're a part of at Girard Volleyball, but it's an impactful one with a lot of leadership. So talk about what it's like to kind of go through this journey with that class and to not have all the leadership responsibilities on your shoulders.
It's super nice. I love Nico and Alexis have been doing such a great job. I love spending my last year with them. I think they've been doing such a great job as well on the court. It's really cool to spend our last year together. It's heartwarming. It's sad, but it's heartwarming. I've been playing with them for such a long time. Since 8th grade, we were all on the same team. So it's sad, but it's been really fun.
All three of you, especially Alexis, have had just phenomenal hitting percentages this year where you're being so efficient as hitters. What is letting you guys be able to stay away from those unforced errors so much and to be able to just, put the ball where it needs to go?
I think having our mind in the right place is definitely playing a big role. Knowing it's our senior year, we got to this is our last year. We got to step up and play the best of our ability. Alexis has been killing it. Her hitting percentages are amazing, but so is Nico's. We've all been doing such a great job. I think it's just what plays the biggest role is the fact that it's our last year and we should go out with a bang.
When we're talking to seniors, we like to ask about like how they want to leave the program better than they found it. So what are some things that you hope this program will have as far as impacts from you being on the team after you graduate?
I just hope after this class graduates, we continue to stay more of a family instead of a team. We've built such great relationships in the past years, and with me and my dad leaving, I hope that we all everyone's able to stay close together and be more of a family than a team. So
we've been keeping that storyline in the back burner because we don't want to admit that it's your dad's last year. And I don't think he really wants to admit it to everyone yet either, even though we all kind of know that he's leaving after this season, just like everyone else does. What's it like being a part of his last ride?
It's super cool. He's put such an amazing image on this program. He's done such a great job. He's led us in so many winning seasons. So it's sad to see him go, but he's done his part for sure. He's done amazing.
Now, when we ask, the leaders of tomorrow, what kind of teammate that or what kind of things they learned, I guess I should say, from you, because we always ask the leaders who they learned how to lead from. What do you hope their answers would be when we come back and do player profiles next year?
I hope that they know just to have fun, enjoy every moment, enjoy every second of playing. Don't take everything too seriously because it's not worth it. It doesn't last long enough. I hope that they just learn to enjoy every second and always have a smile on their face.
All right, let's talk about senior year in the school. I mean, what's the senior year like? Has it kind of been easy because you've had a lot of your credits taken care of, or do you still have some pretty high pressure classes this senior year?
No, it's been pretty easy for me. I only need a couple more credits to be good to graduate with honors. So for me, it's been pretty easy, but it's been a lot of fun too. Just hanging out with my whole class, all my friends, seeing them for the last time this year. It's been super fun though.
What have been some of your favorite classes that you've taken now that you can reflect on your whole Girard career? I think last year when we got to you were just starting your junior season. So What are some favorite classes now that you can reflect on the whole schooling career as a whole?
I want to say one of my favorite classes up there's got to be zoology. I took last year. We got to dissect a shark, which was super cool. And I also really liked commercial art, or I think it was commercial art. Yeah, we got to make like all these videos and edit them and stuff for the school. It was super cool.
When you think about future, we have to talk about your life after high school. What's in store?
I want to go to college to play, but I'm not 100% on it yet. I'm not sure where I want to go and what I want to go for. I'm a little late to that, but I know I for sure I want to go to college. Probably will end up playing, but I don't know. I don't know.
When we talk about the recruitment process and things that you look for in a program, something that a program could offer you to let you feel like this is home, this is where I want to be. What are you looking for out there?
I'm just looking for. I want a team that is close together. They're like I don't want them to think, oh, I only have to talk to you because of volleyball. Like I want it to be just one big family, a bunch of friendships are able to be built. But that's really all I look for, as long as a positive mindset and friendships to be made.
Are you trying to kind of leave the nest a little bit, or do you want to stay pretty close to home?
Leave the nest a little bit, but not too much. Like nothing out of state, but an hour or two I'd take probably.
Just enough to live away from home, right? To get that
Right.
experience
Yeah.
of leaving the nest.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you the most nervous about not being home anymore and the most excited? So two-part question.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Most excited for sure is living on my own. I've just never had that experience before, so I think it'd be really cool to see how I can handle, being by myself. The scariest is for sure not having my parents with me because, I've lived with them past 17 years of my life. So it's going to be kind of scary, but that also leads into the living on my own. I have to see where everything lies and how I'm able to live by myself.
What's a daily life skill that your parents do for you that you're going to be like having to learn how to do on your own when you leave the house?
Making my own food for sure. I'm going to struggle with that one real bad, but I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually.
What's one meal that you have to learn how to cook before you leave? Like you can't live without this meal that your parents or your household has.
Any sort of meat, steak, burger, chicken. I don't even know where to start. I don't know if it's cooked. I'll have to ask him questions and take notes, but that's where I'm gonna struggle.
Bailey, the carnivore, give me the meat.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to make it.
Love it. So Bailey, when we talk about your family, and we know so much, it's so entrenched in volleyball because your sisters and your dad, all in volleyball. What's it like to be a part of your family? Give us some things that are special about it, that are unique about it, and make it special to you.
It makes it special because I've always grown up around it. Growing up, I always went to my dad. Like I watched him coach. I watched my sister play. She ended up going to college for 4 years to play. So it's super cool to be able to continue that and see, I always thought it was so cool. I looked up to them. So now that I'm actually here living it, it's such a crazy experience, but it's super, super cool.
Now, assuming you do play in college, which we hope you do, of course, your dad's in a transition from coach to just being able to be a fan and being able to watch you and support you from the bleachers. What's it going to be like to be able to make that transition where he's not your coach anymore and he's just kind of a support system and only a fan of what you're doing?
It's going to be a lot, but I think it'll be a good transition to be able to learn from someone else. He's been my coach for almost all my life, so I think it'll be cool for him to watch me get coached and learn from someone else, but it'll be good for me to get a different experience and learn different skills from what he's taught.
All right, we know that you are also very big in the community of volleyball. You've played with a lot of area volleyball players in the club scene in the off season. I mean, we look around, there's so much talent in this Tri-County area. What's it like to kind of be able to represent that when you go to college, you're going to be able to say, hey, I played in this area with this player and this player and this player and this player. How cool is it to be in an area that's so loaded with talent?
That's something I look forward to so much, being able to play in the future and say, hey, I played them in high school, or I saw them at club tournaments. I think that's such an amazing part of the volleyball community is the connections that you make throughout the years. And they're always good connections. It's just such a good time to be able to make friends and have connections with all those people. But it's an amazing thing about the sport.
Before we let you go, Bailey, we have to ask your favorite on the court memory with Girard, and then we're going to follow it up with the favorite off the court memory with Girard volleyball in your 4 years as an Indian.
That's a tough one. I'll say my favorite on the court. Probably somewhere in my freshman year. I feel like my freshman year is a really big year. I got the She's a Freshman chant a lot. That was probably one of my favorites. But off the court, off the court's a tough one too. I'll probably say some of the team dinners. There have been a lot of funny memories at the team dinners because they're always like it's always a big meetup at someone's house and we'll always stay after. But specifically, I don't know. I'd say probably one of my team dinners. We stayed after. We all went to the park down my street, and which was nothing crazy. We just went down, like we all walked. It was super funny, but there's been so many great memories on and off the court. I can't even begin to think one or the other.
Bailey, as you know, we've done player profiles with you before. We end them by taking the limelight off yourself for a little bit and shining it on the people in your life, your support system, and the people that you know you wouldn't be where you are without. Now, then I give you a little bit of a challenge because you've been on before, so I want you to hit some people maybe that you haven't hit before. So give out some new shout-outs, maybe some thank yous that deserve it before your last one's over.
All right, I'll start with my mom for sure. I don't know if I gave her a shout-out last time, but
parents can get double, so...
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah,
parents
absolutely.
Double, that's free range. Mom and dad for sure, biggest supporters. My little brother too comes to every game, cheers so loud for me. My mom always has snacks on the sidelines for when I need a little snack to eat. New comer-ups, our freshmen, Fiona and Chloe, such an amazing job, doing such a great part. Chloe Peaton, our sophomore, again, amazing jobs, getting touches, Fiona and Chloe, our right sides, doing such a great job. Our middles, again, Brooke and Alexis, also doing amazing. Middle, so good. They're getting touches on everything. They've been so quick in the front row and so supportive of everyone. Nico accepted me into, she's a repeat, sorry, but she's accepted me into the outside position, and she's, kind of helped me come up. But Kira, also a repeat. She's doing great as a libero. Amazing job. She's so quick in the back row. Any new shout-outs? I think that's it. That's all I got.
And we'll take it. We'll take it, Bailey. We want to thank you so much for all the time that you've given us throughout your career. We appreciate it. We wish you
Ava Serrano. I can't forget her. Ava Serrano. Such a great job. She's doing amazing too. Love her. She brings such a positive attitude on the court.
That's the nick of time right there.
Almost.
All right. Didn't forget Miss Serrano at all. So that's good. She won't come after you now.
No.
Bailey, we want to thank you again for the time. We appreciate it. We wish you the best of luck the rest of the senior season. We'll talk to you real soon.
Thank you so much, Rad.
Bailey Walters from Girard's senior. I don't think you can ask for a better senior leader. It's been someone that has done just about everything you can do for Girard volleyball. When you think about her career, right? She's set. She's played libero. She's gone to outside hitter. I mean, tonight's senior night, maybe Coach Walters should just let her go one rotation in the middle block just to say, hey, I can do it all. I mean, I don't think there's anything Bailey Walters on the volleyball court can't do. So an amazing player and an amazing chance to get yet another player profile out of Girard once again. Girard tonight, senior night, last home game of the regular season for Girard. Kind of one of those emotional. It's going to be emotional. It really is. It's Bailey's last home game for the regular season. Phil Walters retiring after this year. It'll be his last home game as well. So going to be a lot going on in Girard tonight for senior night. One of the things we're going to do, and we said it today, is all about postseason. We're going to bring up first the seeds. This is the first thing we'll do. We'll go into the seeds of these divisions. These can be found on the Northeast database. You can go to Google and type in NEDAB, and it'll be the first thing that pops up. And that's where you'll be able to find these. When you look at Division 1, but we don't have any YSN teams in Division 1, but in case you were curious, that's how Division 1 kind of plays out. By the way, when you look at this, the top three teams, Hobans beat all three of them. and I don't think they dropped the set to any of them. So let that go where it's in. I mean, we've talked about how good Hoban is, but that's what Division One looks like. No YSN teams in Division One. We'll go into Division Two, where we find exactly one YSN team, and it goes into Austin Town Fitch, and they get the 4 seed in Division Two. The 1 seed sitting there at Avon, who Hoban has also beat. Um, Wadsworth is the 2 seed. Olmsted Falls is the 3. Fitch is the 4. Excuse me. Okay. Then you go Worcester, North Royalton, Brecksville, Broadview Heights, Nordonia, Hudson, Green, Hoover, Twinsburg, Steele, Lakewood, Riverside, Mayfield, Maslin Perry, North Ridgeville. We keep scrolling down. You see Firestone, Walsh, Shaker Heights, Eastlake North, Cleveland Heights, Maslin, Washington, Normandy, Rhodes, Solon, Valley Forge, Warren Harding, and Cuyahoga Falls down there at the bottom. So those are the seeds for Division Two. Like I said, only one YSN team Fitch is Division Two in volleyball. We'll go to Division Three, where we'll see a few more YSN teams pop up in Division Three. And the big one is going to be the 1 seed, and this is the biggest no-brainer ever. Archbishop Hoban was 19-0 when records were reported. They won on Saturday, so they are now 20-0 on the year. They are your 1 seed. And then going down the list, Gilmore Academy, Bay Village Bay, Kenston, Revere, Notre Dame Cathedral Latin, Avon Lake, Highland, Copley, Willoughby South, Padua Franciscan. Then you go into Aurora, Rocky River, Westlake, CVCA. Then Canfield pops up, and they are the 16 seed. So that is the second YSN team. Chardon, Hawken, and right there, not too far from Canfield, you see Howland, Akron, St. Vincent, St. Mary, Hathaway Brown, Uniontown Lake. Boardman is in here as the 23 seed. Then you have North Olmsted, Max Hayes, Garfield, Ursuline, Louisville, Talmadge, Madison, Bedford, Roosevelt, Lakeside, Geneva, Maple Heights, Midview, Barberton, Ellett, Alliance, Garrett Morgan, Brush, Akron North, Harvey, East, Garfield, Cheney, John Adams, and then Cleveland JFK, rounding out the Division Three list. And you can know that is a lot of teams, 48 teams in the northeast side of Division Three. Let's go into Division 4 and see how that seating shakes out. Seating for Division 4 looks like this. Went too far. We see that the 1 seed is Marlington and Lakeview right behind them. Norton, Woodridge, Perry, Firelands, West Branch. And then you have Edgewood, Hubbard, Jefferson, Crestwood, Lutheran West, Laurel, Coventry, Streetsboro, Beaumont, Cloverleaf, Holy Name, Buckeye, Akron, Springfield, Mooney, Orange, Early College, West Geauga, Salem, Field, Struthers, Cleveland Central Catholic, Canal Fulton Northwest, St. Martin de Pares, Niles, Conneaut, Trinity, Lincoln West, Warrensville Heights, Poland, Lutheran East, Ravenna, Bucktolt, Akron East, Glenville, and then rounding out is East Tech and Shaw. That is a grand total of 43 teams in Division 4. So you could call it, these districts are a lot bigger this year so far. Division 5, the seeding plays out like this, as the reigning state champs are the 2 seed, the back-to-back reigning state champs in Mineral Lake Catholic. Um, Crestview gets the 1. That's good news for us in the YSN country. Columbiana is the 3. Berkshire is the 4. Girard is the 5. Kind of surprised by that. I thought Girard was going to be a top 4 team. This is no disrespect to Berkshire, but I think Girard plays a much, much, much harder schedule than Berkshire does. So I thought they would get the top 4 seed, but 15-3, 15-4. Berkshire gets the edge there. Girard gets the 5. Villa Anna St. Joe's is next, and then a very dangerous 7 seed in Elyria Catholic. LeBray, Garrettsville, Garfield, Fairview, Warren Champion, Norway, Triway, Pymatuning Valley, Tuslaw, South Range, Northwestern, Brookside, Chagrin Falls, Rootstown, Chippewa. You have Campus Invitational. I've never heard of that. International. Never heard of that. Canton Central Catholic, Beechwood, Orville, Wycliffe, Keystone, Akron, Manchester, Southeast, Canton South, and then Clearview rounds out the seeds in Division 5. 31 teams in Division 5. So now we go into 6, Division 6 seeding. And the 6 looks like this. The 1 seed is going to be Dalton. McDonald gets the 2. And then you go down the list: Smithville, Independence, Mogador, Kirtland, Lake Center Christian, Camel, Middle Ridge, Springfield, Hillsdale, Black River, Warren JFK. You got Columbia, Wellington, Our Lady of Elms, Waynedale, Laudonville, Grand Valley, Jackson Milton, who I think is playing much better now than they were the first half of the year. So that's a dangerous, dangerous top 20 seed. Newton Falls, same thing, playing a lot better. We saw them push a lot more teams further in the second half of the year. Southern is next, then Fairport Harding, United Waterloo. You have Medina Christian Academy, East Palestine, Oberlin, Mapleton, East Canton, Brooklyn, Richmond Heights, Matthews, Liberty, Valley Christian, and then St. Thomas Aquinas rounds it out. There are 36 teams in Division 6. And then last but not least, let's go through the seeds of Division 7. See where our final YSN teams land. Ashtabula St. John is the 1 seed in Division 7. They are undefeated. Open Door Christian is the 2 at 14-6. Wellsville is the 3. Cornerstone's the 4. You have Kidron Central Christian, then Heartland Christian, then Shocker, Cardinal, Lisbon, Cuyahoga Heights, Wyndham, Western Reserve, Osborne Academy, Lake Ridge Academy, Badger, Maplewood, Bloomfield, Brookfield, Lowville, Lordstown, Bristol, Ravenna, Sebring, and then rounding it out is Latonia. There are a total of 24 teams in Division 7. So with all that being said, what we're going to do now, we're not going to dive into the brackets or talk about the matchups or anything like that. We don't have the time for that. That will be coming up next week when postseason is literally ready to start. But what we are going to do is we're going to just show you the brackets. Here, we're going to tell you where these teams are landed, and let you kind of see where your teams are. Just as kind of a preview sense. But then we will dive into the matchups and all that fun stuff next week when it is, in fact, tournament time. So I'm going to pop up the brackets. Bear with me. This is going to be found on the OHSAA website. And here's what the brackets look like. We will start way down in Division 2 because we do not have a team in Division 1. And we are going to go to Northeast 7, which is where we'll find Austintown Fitch. There you are. They are the 4 seed and just 4 teams. You win 2 games, you win a district. It's automatic district semifinals for Austin Town Fitch. Their tournament time starts on October 23rd. They will play Solon, the 27 seed. Steele will be the 13, and Madison Washington will be the 24. So the highest seed in Fitch's way of a district championship is 13. The way Fitch has played, you gotta love it, right? You gotta love where this is going to be. This district will be held at Berea Mid Park will be where the district championship, I believe, that'll also be Fitch will be hosting the semifinal. And is this the high seed or is this at Fitch? Fitch will be hosting both semifinals. So at Fitch on the 23rd, you'll see Solon, Fitch, Steele, and Madison Washington. They'll all be playing each other. And then going into the district championship, that will be held at Berea Mid Park, and that will be on October 26th at 11 a.m. So now let's go into Division 3 and see where teams land in Division 3. Northeast 1, we'll start there. And we see the top line of the bracket, Gilmore Academy. They'll play Cleveland John Adams. Then you go down. You have Ashley Beulah Lakeside, a YSN team. They'll be playing a home game against the 35th seeded. Oh, they'll be the topper seed, I should say. It won't be a home game. It'll be at Gilmore Academy. But they'll be playing as the higher seed against Maple Heights. You go down here, Boardman going to be playing against Youngstown Ursuline. And then on the bottom, you see that Canfield will be playing against Kent Roosevelt. And those games will be at Canfield. So Canfield will be hosting both of those tournament games, Boardman, Ursuline, Canfield, Roosevelt. Those will be on October 17th at 5 and 7 o'clock. The district semifinals are TBA. I believe the high seed will be there. So basically, I think if Gilmore Academy wins, then both these district semifinals will be held at Gilmore Academy. If they get upset by the 47th seed, don't hold your breath there. Then it would be at Canfield. They would be the next highest seed to move on if Canfield is able to move on as well. District championship game, though, will be decided. It will be at Medina, the home of the Bees. So that's where Canfield would play a district championship if they got there. They will have to go through probably Gilmore Academy to get a district championship. We go into Northeast 2, and we see the top line. Hoban is the 1 seed. Cheney is who they'll play, so it's actually be an all YSN matchup there. Alliance is going to be below them. They'll play the Akron Ellet. Then down here you have Hawk and Howland playing each other. That's 19 versus 18. And then you have Hathaway Brown and Westlake. So these districts, Howland will be playing at Westlake. And then this district championship will be played at Holy Name. So Hoban's trip to a state starts in this district, and it would go into Holy Name if they're able to make it to the district championship. We go into Northeast 3. This is going to be North Olmsted at the top of the line. They'll play Max Hayes. Medina Highland will play as the 6th seed. They're playing Akron North, Copley, and Rocky River. So this is a non-YSN bracket, and the championship will be held at Holy Name as well. So they'll have 2 district championships at Holy Name there. And then you go in the Northeast 4, and you see that St. Vincent St. Mary is there with a battle with Midview, Padua, Barberton, Uniontown Lake, Bedford, Bay Village Bay, and Cleveland JFK. Once again, non-YSN bracket, and this district championship will be at Medina, like Canfield. So two district championships, both at the same place. Let's go in the Northeast 5, where we see NDCL. They'll be playing Garrett Morgan, Madison and Garfield Heights, Talmadge and Geneva, and Akron Garfield at Chagrin Falls, Kinston. So that one will be a non-YSN bracket. The district championship will be held at Girard, so that'll be hosted in Girard. And then you see Northeast 6, which is the final Northeast bracket, which will also be in Girard. For the district championship, you have Avon Lake and East Louisville and Cuyahoga, CVCA, Aurora, Chardon, Painesville, Harvey, and Revere. So a couple of non-YSN brackets. Both district championships will be held at Girard. So that does it for Division 3. Let's hop into the Division 4 brackets. But before we do, we have a commercial break in store. We got to pay some of our sponsors. Keep the lights on here on Running Point. So before we go into 4, 5, 6, and 7, let's hop into a commercial break and be right back on Running Point, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun, it all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
All right, well, welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. We are in the middle of just showing the brackets, letting them out for volleyball. We'll go over soccer tomorrow. But here is Division 4. We'll probably have to break soccer into 2 days, boys and girls. But here is Division 4, and we will start with Northeast 1. We have West Geauga and Cleveland Central Catholic. Edgewood has the bye. They will play into the district semifinal. And they will play the winner of West Geauga and Cleveland Central Catholic. That will be at Edgewood no matter what. So props on that. We will go to Ravenna and Laurel on the other end. Crestwood and Glenville. And then Cloverleaf and Fireland. So Edgewood, the only YSN team in this bracket, so it's easy to have someone to root for. And I'm sorry, they're going to go into a sectional final. These are the district semifinals down here. That's going to be at the highest seed, which I believe would be Edgewood, if I'm not mistaken, if Edgewood wins. So yeah, It would. So if Edgewood wins these, nope, no, I'm sorry. Firelands is the 6th. So unless Firelands gets beat by Cloverleaf, which is possible, 17 seed, not out of the realm of possibilities. But if Edgewood does not get, if Firelands does not get beat, Edgewood will go to Firelands. This district championship, if Edgewood were to make it there, would be held at North, which is actually a really awesome gym. We went there with Fitch last year, so that's a cool place to go watch volleyball. We'll go into Division Northeast 2 now for Division 4. And we see that St. Martin is up there in the top line. They'll play Cleveland Lincoln West. The bye for that will be Norton. Then we have Streetsboro, Akron East, Coventry, Medina. West Branch will be the only YSN team in this bracket. They are going to be the 7th seed. They will play their first game, which is the sectional final, at West Branch. And then the district semis for West Branch will probably, if they win, will be held at West Branch because they would be the highest seed. Coventry would be the team, if the numbers played out, they would play. And this district championship will be held at Mentor. We go into Northeast 3 over to here, and we see that Conneaut right there will have the sectional semifinal against Warrensville Heights. The winner goes on to play Jefferson. Then you have Mooney, and they're going to be playing Akron Springfield, 20 versus 21. So Mooney will have to go to, well, actually, it'll be at Jefferson, but that should be a fun one. That's going to be 2 YSN teams, 3 YSN teams if Conneaut wins, all in the same spot in Jefferson. The highest seed in this bracket is Jefferson, so if they were able to win, they would host this district semifinal. This district championship, let's go to the bottom first. Niles down here, Buckdale, Marlington, and Shaw. Marlington is by far the highest seed in this bracket. But if a YSN teams gets to a district championship, which we have a good shot at, it will be held at North again. So just like West Branch, this one will be there too. And then we go into Northeast 4. Perry is going to be there as the 5 seed. Lutheran East there. Then we have Orange, Holy Name, Salem, Mogador Field, Woodridge, and Early College. Those are all going to be semifinals. There's no one with a bye here. But then again, those are all sectional semifinals. There are no sectional, all sectional finals. There are no sectional semifinals. So the winners will go straight to the district semis. The highest seed here is Perry, so they'll host these 2 matchups. And if they win, they would also host a district semi. No, they wouldn't. I'm sorry. Woodridge is the 4. So unless Woodridge gets beat by Early College, then Woodridge will host these district semis. Salem going to be playing at Woodridge as well in Peninsula. And then these district championship games are TBA. They haven't announced the site yet for those district championship in Northeast 4. We have to go Northeast 5 now and check this bracket out. We have Hubbard there as the 9 seed. They'll be on the top end. All any 8 matchup as they'll play Poland in the first round. Then we have Baymont and Canal Fulton Northwest. Hubbard is the top seed in this top line of the district. Struthers down here, Trinity, East Tech, and Lakeview down here. So a pretty NE8 heavy bracket. And I believe from Lakeview would host the district semifinals. I think it's top seed hosts both matchups. So they would host if they won. Excuse me. These district championships will be held in Minter. And then last but not least, we have, nope, that's it. No Northeast 6. It's Northeast 5. So we went through all of the YSN teams for Division 4. Let's go into Division 5. We'll start like we always do with Northeast 1. We have Crestview here as the top seed. They did not get the bye. They will play Southeast, the conference opponent. Keystone, Canton South. You have LeBray down here as the 8. Champion and South Range at the bottom. So these districts, these sectional finals will be at LeBray. And we'll see I think, pretty fun matchups. LeBray, Canton Central Catholic, and Champion South Range on the 17th at 5 and 7 at LeBray. Especially that South Range and Champion matchup. That should be fun. The highest seed in this bracket, of course, is the 1 seed Crestview. They will host the district semis as long as they win. District championship for this one will be at Streetsboro. Fair warning to those of you that have never been to Streetsboro before, it is a tight gym, so be prepared to be scrunched in with each other. Northeast 2, we see that it is Cleveland, Villa Anna St. Joe's, top seed. I should say top line. Beechwood, Chagrin Falls, Chippewa. Girard is the 5. They have Akron, Manchester, Columbiana, and Clearview. So these will be held at Girard, these two matchups. No, Columbiana, I'm sorry. Columbiana is the higher seed. So Columbiana will host Girard versus Manchester, and they'll be hosting Clearview. And then we'll have up here, Villa Anna St. Joe's will host those teams. District championship for this one will be at Magnificat. We go into Northeast 3, and we see that Berkshire will be squaring off against Wycliffe, Norwayne, and Pie Valley. You have Garrettsville, Garfield, and Brookside, and Fairview, and Elyria Catholic. So Elyria Catholic will host Garfield, Brookside, and Fairview in those semifinals. There, up here, we'll see that no YSN teams in the top. No, Pine Valley. I'm sorry. They'll be going to Berkshire for that one. This district championship game will be at Magnificat as well. Northeast 4. This will be the last one, just 4 district brackets in Division 5. We have Mineral Lake Catholic, the 2. They get the bye. They'll await the winner of Orville and Cleveland Campus International. Rootstown down here, along with Tuslaw, Northwestern, and Triway. So luckily for YSN, none of our teams have to deal with Mineral Lake Catholic in the districts, at least. This championship game will be held at Streetsboro, so Crestview will get a chance to watch Mineral Lake Catholic, probably, because I'm guessing they're both going to be in the district championships. And that will be that'll be it. And I like that they've also very smartly put the districts where they're not paired up with each other in the regional. So, for example, we saw that Crestview is in Northeast 2. I am wrong. Did Crestview get Northeast 1? Yeah, never mind. They'll play each other in the regional semis, and they get to watch each other in the districts. It worked out that way in Division 4, so I just kind of spoke like it was going to be a universal, where the district sites did not line up teams that were going to be lined up in the regionals. But in Division 5, that is not the case, and it was probably not mandated where these districts had to go to this location. They probably got to pick their own locations. That's probably why. But in Division 4, it was cool to see that none of the regional lineups were going to be playing. We're going to be playing at the same site and district, so you don't get that edge of being able to see the team before you play them. But in Division 5, it will be that way, as the District 1 and District 4 championships will be both in the same place. And as you can see right there, they're lined up in the regional semifinals with each other. Division 6 looks like this. We'll go into Northeast 1. Once again, just 4 Northeast brackets in Division 6. And Northeast 1 looks like this. We'll have Black River and Mapleton. They'll be the only teams in this top line that have a semifinal. They'll play the winner. The winner will play Independence. East Canton will be against Oberlin. Down here you have Hillside and Grand Valley, and then down here you have Jackson Milton and Springfield. And since Springfield is the 10, they will host the semifinals. They are the highest seed, so they'll be there hosting those teams. This district championship for Division 7, Division 6, will be at Kabuski Gymnasium in Grafton, which is Midview High School, by the way. And that will do it for that district. We go in the Northeast 2. And it looks like this. We have Campbell. They'll be in the semifinal against Wellington. Winner goes on to play Columbia. We have Mogador down there against St. Thomas Aquinas. Smithville against Richmond Heights. And Apple Creek Waynedale against Akron Lady of the Elm. So really, Campbell, the only YSN team in this bracket, so we know who to root for completely. Campbell will be hosting this matchup in their sectional semi, the only sectional semi of the district. So unlike everyone else, they'd have to win 4 games to win this district. Everyone else would only have to win 3. And the district semis will be held at Mogador if Campbell's winning, and the district championships, if Campbell gets there, would be in Midview, like Northeast 1. So then we go into Northeast 3, and we see that Waterloo is up here against East Palestine, all YSN matchup. Winner gets to take on McDonald. Yet Warren JFK against United. All YSN matchups a lot in this bracket. Lake Center Christian down here against Liberty. And then last but not least, we have Fairport Harding against Middle Ridge. Middle Ridge will go to Lake Center Christian for this one. Lake Center Christian, the 7 seed, so they'll be able to host those rounds of semifinals. And we see that these ones will be at McDonald. District championship game for these teams is going to be at Burton, Berkshire. Pretty cool gym to be at. Hosting the Division 6, Northeast 3 and 4 district championships. Let's talk about Northeast 4, see where this one lies. Medina Christian playing Brooklyn. You have Dalton, the 1 seed. Matthews, Newton Falls, that's the YSN team. Valley Christian, Kirtland Southern, and Lawnville playing each other. Those semifinals will be at the top seed, which is going to be Kirtland. So Kirtland will host those 4 teams. And then up here, this one will be held in Dalton for those semifinals. And then the championship for this one will be at Berkshire, just like bracket 3. So that does it for Division 4. Division 6, one more. Division 7. Let's go into Northeast 1. We see that the 1 seed, St. John, they're going to be hosting Bristol, and they'll also be hosting the matchup between Bloomfield and Maplewood. You have Southington Chalker against Osborne, and then Lisbon against Wyndham, and we already see that Lisbon winning that. I don't know if that's a typo or if Wyndham has forfeited that game. I will try to get confirmation on that. That is a interesting thing to see there. It would have been a 9 versus 11 game, which would have been pretty interesting. And then you also see this. This might be a mistake because I don't think two different teams have both forfeit in the same bracket, because Maplewood and Bloomfield, you already see Bloomfield advancing, and Maplewood's a higher seed, so why would they give that up? Well, I'm going to have to get some confirmation on that. But if St. John wins, they will host these semifinals. The championship is still to be determined as well. They don't have a site yet for this championship on the bracket. We'll go to Northeast 2. And we see that Latonia will be playing Open Door Christian. Cuyahoga Heights and Lowville. Wellsville will be playing Lordstown, and Sebring will be up against Heartland Christian. So I believe Heartland is the top seed, although it doesn't have the seed. No, Wellsville's the 3. I'm sorry. So these two matchups will be in Wellsville. You go up here, and these ones will be at Open Door Christian. If Open Door Christian wins, they'll host those two district semifinals. And the district championship for this one is going to be held at Smithville. So Smithville will be the host of a district championship in that Division 7 bracket. We go to Northeast 4, which... why did they skip 4? Why does it go from... Oh, I'm sorry, Northeast 3. I'm dumb. No, that is Northeast 3. We just did that. There are only three Northeast brackets. That's why. Okay. 5 Northwest brackets. 3 Northeast brackets. Gotcha. So does that cover all of our Ysn schools in Division? How did I do that? Oh my gosh. All right. Does that cover all of our Northeast schools in Division 7? I want to go back and look at Division 7 real quick and make sure I hit all the Ysn schools. We saw Wellsville, we saw Heartland, we saw Lisbon, we saw Wyndham, Western Reserve. Don't remember seeing them. Or Badger. Let's see if I can find them. Maybe they're in... Why would they be in Northwest? Northeast 1... Bristol, Maplewood, Soccer. On the phone. I know. Northeast 2. Open Door, Delton, Cuyahoga Heights, Lowville, Wellsville. Florence. They got to be in Northwest then, right? They're not in one of the Northeast districts. Oh, there they are. How did I miss that? You know what? I saw Stone Crit. I just thought that was Open Door, and I thought I already hit this bracket. That's what happened. Okay. Whew, we figured it out. Welcome to Monday Blues. All right, this is Division 7 Northeast 3, which we did not go over, but my brain said that we did. So Cornerstone Christian will be here against Rittman. We'll have Cardinal against Badger. That'll all be at Cornerstone Christian host. Western Reserve will be playing Lake Ridge Academy, and then down there Brookfield will be playing Kidron Central Christian. That will be all at Kidron. The semifinals will be at the high seed, which, if the numbers play out, that'll be the 4-seeded Cornerstone Christian. So if Cornerstone wins, they'll host the semifinals, and this district championship will be held at Smithville. So there are your district brackets for volleyball. We have achieved it. We have gone over it. Take a breath, everybody. It's going to be a long volleyball postseason. A lot of things to kind of balance, a lot of things to juggle. More divisions and more districts than we've ever seen for volleyball, which is, of course, 3 more divisions. I want to remind everyone that is wondering about the coverage of live broadcasts for volleyball. It'll be the same as it has been in years past for every sport minus football. The playoff broadcast will be brought to you by sponsors. So if we get a game sponsored, we will have that game covered. But non-sponsor games, we will be unable to just go broadcast ourselves because of the fees put out by the OHSAA to live broadcast games. So if you're out there, a volleyball program or soccer program that wants to see their postseason run on ysnlive.com, talk to your boosters or your local businesses. If someone comes up and sponsors the game, we will gladly be out there to cover it. That's just kind of how it works. That's how it's been working for volleyball, basketball, softball, baseball throughout the years, and soccer, of course. So that's what's going to happen this year too. We will be at games that get sponsored. We will not be at games that don't get sponsored. It's just that simple. Might be out there for photographing and getting reporters out there to do stories and interviews. But as far as live game broadcasts, it is sponsorship only, like it has been throughout the last couple years here at YSN. That is not changing. So that being said, we will continue to heavily cover the tournaments here on Running Point. We'll talk about all the matchups next week when tournament comes up. We'll go through the brackets again, talk about, what each team's path looks like, dive into that. We just wanted to kind of this week, since there's still regular season games to talk about, this week we wanted to just kind of show you the brackets. This is what's happening. It's out there. Here you go. So that's what we did today. We are a little bit into overtime, so we will let's let you know that the live games tonight can be found at ysnlive.com/live. I can tell you that I will be at Girard and Howland at Girard for their last home game of the year. Actually, their last home game of the year officially, now that they're matched up with Columbiana. So last home game in Girard, last time Phil Walters will coach in that gymnasium as the Girard volleyball head coach, and the last time those seniors will play in that gym. So going to be there for that, and then all other matchups can be found that we're covering tonight at ysnlive.com/live. Be sure to tune into them. Tomorrow, we'll dive into soccer. We'll probably split soccer into, I imagine, 2 days, one for boys, one for girls, unless I am super fast and get through both in one shot. Well, we'll try that. We'll also maybe we'll bring out a soccer player profile tomorrow as well to kind of dive into the whole soccer theme of Tuesday. So stay tuned to that. We'll announce what player profile we're going to be featured on our social media pages before the show. So stay tuned to see what player will be featured on tomorrow's show. Tune in, please, 1 to 2 on Running Point, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Have a great night. Go out there, support athletes, and you know what?